Hello, Europe. It's William calling from wiwibloggs, and I'm joined by Chris in London and Ori in Israel. And we are here to talk about the upcoming final of The Next Star, Israel's selection for an artist for Eurovision 2015. Now, Ori, you're on the ground in Israel. Are people talking about the selection this year?
Yeah, actually they are. And I mean, both fans and, people who are not fans. For example, in my workplace, people speak about it all the time. Like after every show, they discuss it at lunchtime. And the fans are reviewing the shows all the time, and they have favorites, and everybody's really, really excited about this new format.
So it's a big change from attitudes in the past?
It's a huge change because up until now it was every year, we had a different format. One time it was internal selection. The next time it was a press selection. In Israel it changed. And it's the first time something really exciting is happening. So yes, it is.
Brilliant. And Chris, have you been following the selection?
I've been following it a bit, yeah. I mean, it's probably with so much has been going on in terms of the other pre-selections, the fact that it's not as easy to watch as sort of like your Melody Festivals or your UMK or in Iceland, places like that. It's sort of been a bit on the back burner, but I've been keeping up with the four finalists, so I know them and sort of what they've been doing in the show. So yeah, it's been obviously quite a big step change as well from your Kadams and things like that in the past. So yeah, it's been good.
I think the best part for me was seeing Harel scat every week. Hallelujah. Now, there are, of course, 4 finalists, and we're going to take them in turn and give our opinions, starting with Avia. She's the lady with the amazing hair.
The crazy hair. Amazing, yes.
Ori, what's the buzz? Is she making waves in Israel?
Actually, yes, she does, because she sings so amazingly. She can really deliver feelings through her music. I think everybody could see that every time she's picking songs who are not so special, and she turns them into masterpieces. And everybody wants her to win. Even, the judge, Karen Peles, says that she will feel really, really safe if she will know that Avia will represent us in Eurovision. So yes, there is a lot of buzz around her.
Chris, are you feeling her?
She's got an incredible voice. You can't doubt that whatsoever. I just worry that if she were to go to Eurovision, and obviously we don't know what kind of song they're going to be sending, I have a feeling that it might be something a bit too dreary, a bit too dull, maybe, Eurovision. I think Israel in the past have obviously entered people like Moore and Mazur, who kind of... Rak Bishvilo was a great song, but didn't connect with the Eurovision audience, and I worry that she might fall into the same kind of trap. But an amazing voice, you can't doubt that whatsoever.
On the gender issue, there are always a lot of female solo acts in pain, And so to your point, I think, we already have 7, I believe, female solo artists this year. And so you might make the case, do we really need another woman? But if she's the best in Israel, perhaps it is the best choice. I just know that her hair, I think she hides like other singers in there. Because her voice, it's like 20 people singing, I cannot stop talking. She's like a construction worker because she builds those songs. It was like Ori was saying. I forget which one it was, but I read the title and I went on YouTube. I was like, this is going to be boring. And then it was amazing. She's like a magician. But moving on to the other girl, Sari. Not I'm sorry, but Sari.
Sari, yes. So she's quite young. She's 17 and she sings rock music, and she's best when she sings in English because this is what she's best at. And she's kind of, she has this international feeling about her. The music that she does, not many people in Israel does music like this. I think she has some chance. She has her fans. I like her too. She's not, so dramatic like Avia, but she's very, very talented as well.
She's actually my favourite, if I'm being honest. I think there's just something about the tone of her voice that really I dig quite a lot. and she's very quite clear as well when she's singing in English as well, which is really good. Obviously, that's another thing Israel have always done. They always seem to be sending songs in Hebrew, and obviously Same Heart, they did the kind of half and half. Whether or not having a completely English song might help their chances, I don't know. But yeah, she's got I like her sense of the music that she likes, the music that she performs. Just her as an artist is probably one that I connect with the most out of these four.
So I learned about Avia before Sari, and I think it biased me because I always compare her to Avia. And when I do that, Sari's more of a karaoke singer. Now, she is unique. She's definitely unique. She's got style. But when I hear her music, I don't connect to it as much. It just doesn't... I want to feel pain. I'm like, smack me, you know?
Just said that. Yes, I know. Because Avia, you can see that she feels pain. And I think that the more pain an artist feels, the best, he's best. He's better. There's nothing you can do about that. I agree with you.
Quite. Chris?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. But no, I think that Avia definitely has that kind of passion, but that's why I'm just sort of thinking, is it just a bit too much? And it might be too much for a Eurovision audience, might scare off the televoters maybe, but if it's working for her so far in Rising Star, then there's clearly some kind of, an audience will warm to her, so... I mean, I'm not sure.
Harel Scat, he was feeling that pain back in 2010. He was feeling it. But maybe there's a double standard with men because, like, in real life, men aren't as good at showing emotion. So when a man gets very emotional on stage, we respond to it. And when a woman gets emotional, you're like, you again. It seems a little unfair. I don't know. In any event, there are men in the contest, and one of them is Nadav.
Yes, Nadav is actually the youngest of them all. He's only 16, and he looks so experienced. He's on stage, and I have to compare him to Sari because he sings in English so good, so great. He has his moves and he dances really good, and Harel likes it really much. I can say that he's the favorite of everybody. He and Avia, I think they share this title. People think he can do really good, really well in Eurovision. This is what my friends at work say. They say, really, bring us to the final.
Okay, Chris.
If anything, I think he is very good. And that's the thing, for the most part, all four of these acts are actually very good at what they do. I just think that he's a little bit forgettable at times. From my perspective, all the other three have got things that make them stand out to me, and I think he just kind of fades into the background against them. Very good singer, very good performer, but I know it's being cliche and it's probably the wrong reality show, but he's missing the X Factor for me. So... yeah, just good, but not who I would pick as a winner or for Eurovision.
What I like about him is that he's really unpolished. He's not yet perfect. He's rough and raw, and there's something about that honesty I quite like. But he's also a little vulnerable when he sings. I just want to give him a hug. But the Justin Timberlake music, I just don't like that kind of hey. I find it really annoying, and I'm not sure it would translate to the rest of Europe. I just think the women are more polished than the men in this contest. I don't know if it's just chance or they're more confident. I don't know what it is, but for me, Avia is a total package already. And then I look at Nadav, and he's like sweet, and I want to see him do well, but I'm not sure he would do well.
The other thing is obviously we've got Michaela and Anita already for San Marino, so that would kind of split the heartthrob vote, I suppose, for like the teen girls. Like you've got Michaela, and then you would have Nadav, and they could potentially take votes away from each other. So would that be great for Israel? Probably not.
I have to add something. I think it's really interesting that Chris thinks that Nadav will fade to the background because this is what I think too. because here in Israel, it's really a big issue if someone sings in English, because nobody really do that here. But if we send Nadav to Eurovision, it's not going to be so special. Everybody is singing English. Maybe a couple more Justin Timberlakes will be on stage apart from him. So maybe if you ask someone from abroad, you get the answer. Maybe it shouldn't be Nadav. Maybe.
Do the judges like Nadav, Ori?
They like him, yes. They like him really much. They like the way he sings. They like the way he moves. They like the fact that he's so young and still, he shows, he's charismatic. He's good. He sings good. They like him.
Great. And the final act competing in the final are the Rasta Hebrew men. So, Ori, what do you think of the Rasta Hebrew men?
What do I think about them? Okay, there are actually 9 members. Which is gonna be a little bit problematic for them if they are chosen for Eurovision, because they will have to decide who is staying at home, who is going to Eurovision. They sing reggae. It's like they tell about themselves that they are Israeli people who chose the reggae lifestyle. And personally, I don't think I really feel connected to this kind of music, but they're really, really happy and enthusiastic on stage. The judges always dance to their music when they perform, so who knows, they might stand a chance.
You can tell that they're really passionate about sort of the reggae, and they really come alive on stage. They're not the type of band that you would listen to sort of like an audio recording or something like that. You would need to see them live, which obviously would help them at Eurovision if they got there. I really hope that they don't go to Eurovision, though, because I suppose if you were to compare them with another Israeli act from the past, I'd probably put them quite close to Isabeau, because they were both kind of like kooky, a bit out of like left field kind of band, and Isabeau didn't make it to the final, like most Israeli acts haven't. I don't think that the Rasta Hebrew men would, so... they're good, and you can tell that they're very, very happy doing what they do, but not a Eurovision act, hopefully.
We all agree. Reggae is fine on its own somewhere else, but at Eurovision, I think you need a song that can build and fall, whereas reggae is always, it's very same throughout. And people want dynamism. Like, it's not going to be memorable. Well, not memorable in a good way. It'll just be a bit boring. And I don't see them translating to another genre. Like, they're not suddenly going to bust out a May Feingold song, are they? Unless
that would be hilarious if they did.
It would
reggae Same Heart would be incredible.
Ori, have they had to leave the reggae genre during the show at any point?
Not that I remember. I think it was really, the same style all the way until now.
Oh, dear. Being happy will only get you so far. No offense. But question for both of you. Who do you think should win, and who do you think will win?
Oh, such a hard question. Okay. For me, just like it is for you, William, I think that Avia should win, and I will explain to you why. I think that the people in Israel will prefer Nadav or Sari because they think that they sing in English, it's good for Eurovision, all this kind of stuff people say. But just like I said about Nadav, it's not going to be so special when it's on the Eurovision stage and everybody around is singing in English, maybe better English than our Israeli singers. And this international style will not be so unique. On the other hand, Avia is the typical Israeli contestant. She's really, really, into Hebrew music, Israeli music. And the thing that's so great about her is the fact that she can deliver her emotions, her pain. You don't need a language. You don't need to understand the language. She can sing in Hebrew. She can write her own songs. She can take the worst song and turn it into a masterpiece. This is what I think. Why I think she should win.
Thank you, Miss Universe. Chris.
I want Sari to win, just because, as I said before, it's the kind of music that I kind of enjoy, her kind of music, and I think that she's a good singer. I think Avia will win, if I'm honest, just because I think that while she might be a safer option in the mold of previous Israeli singers, I also have a feeling that that voice and that quality that she's got to portray emotion so well, I think that will probably just push her over the edge. But yeah, as long as they don't go for the Hebrew men or Nadav, I think Israel will probably make the final, just about. So yeah.
I'm gonna say I want. I'm gonna say she should. It's Avia, y'all. She knows what's up. She's got the emotion. I mean, a few days ago, I was really feeling Nadav just because I was like, oh, how sweet. He's like a little rough around the edges. Israel can transform him. But then I was like, why should you have to transform someone? You should take them as they are. And I don't like him that way, so he needs to go. So it's Avia. And I think that Israel has sent some really great power pain ballads in the past. Like, I loved Moran Mazur, even if she didn't make it. So yeah, with the right team behind her, they can polish that diamond, make her shine even more, y'all. As long as it's not I just don't think the Hebrew Rasta men deserve to go, and I think Sari will get lost in the crowd. No offense, Chris. Great. Well, any other thoughts on the Israeli selection?
I just hope that if it is a success that they keep going with this, because obviously if Ori said that it's had a lot of people talking about it in Israel, hopefully that'll see more viewing figures and things like that for the actual contest as well, because I know that's something that has struggled, I think, in the past in Israel. Or he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it doesn't get great figures, does it really, the Eurovision final?
I wish you were right. You know? But okay, maybe if we eventually make it to the final, they will think about keeping this format. But unfortunately, I know how it's gonna be next year. A new format. Who knows which? We can never know. So let's just enjoy it as it's still on.
Yes.
We like that positive attitude. Thank you so much, Ori in Israel and Chris in London. You guys can watch the final of The Next Star on Tuesday on Israel's Channel 2, if you're in Israel. The rest of us will just have to wait and see, but you can follow all the news on wiwibloggs, and hopefully we'll be sending you some reporting from the finale. We're still sorting it out. Please accept us, producers. But thank you so much, and see you later. Bye!
Bye!